What's good, everybody? Welcome back. Episode number 55. We are here. We have some big news today. Again, it just seems like it keeps on happening, man. Today, apparently, as the story goes, the UnitedHealthcare CEO assassin has been arrested. Irv, what do we got going on here, man?
He got picked up in a fucking McDonald's in Altoona,
PA. So Pennsylvania.
I was inside. Some people recognized him and called him. Did you see the shit with the cats left reviews on the McDonald's that he was found in?
Bro, listen.
There's a lot of rats in here.
Yo, they're bugged out on the internet. Listen, first of all, the internet remains undefeated, right? They have just been tearing the McDonald's CEO up. They got like the franchise owner, the person that called because there was a lot of stories to begin in the beginning, because the first article I had read was by the New York Post, and they were saying that like he got pinched using a fake ID at McDonald's. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, who gets ID'd at McDonald's, bro? But now as the stories coming out, we know that he got off a bus in Altoona, PA, went to McDonald's, was eating, messing around on his laptop, and somebody from the store had called and said that they spotted him. So what did they find, bro, when they got him?
$8,000 cash, U.S. currency, 2,000 foreign currency, which I would like to know.
What kind?
What kind? The gun, the silencer, and 3 IDs. 1 ID that he used to check into the hostel that he was checking into. But
so
he had a heron, and he said that the money was planted, and he doesn't know where that came from.
Really?
And, yeah, he just got arraigned in PA, and said that shit was planted on him. So it already starts. The craziness of the story, yeah.
It already starts to get suspicious here, which is wild, because like from the first reports we were seeing, the ideas were that he was using a veterinary gun, right, which is used to put animals down. Now we're finding out that he had a 3D printed gun and silencer.
Yes, ghost gun.
So, and a lot of this doesn't really make sense, man, because this kid is 26 years old. He's 26. He was a valedictorian. He, master's at Penn University.
Bachelor's in computer science too. Computer science. Brilliant mind. Book club.
Right. He was a big deal there.
Yeah, big deal. Very smart kid.
So, and this is what is interesting, because it's like now we have already something coming out saying like, wait, they planted that on me. I didn't have all this money. I didn't have, whatever. What do you think is happening here, man? Do you think this dude is a patsy? If there's anybody tuning in, shout out to you guys. We see 70 views so far. Make sure you guys leave us a comment, hit that subscribe button. Is this guy a patsy?
Oh, it's tough, man. It's tough these days. I don't know if he's a patsy, but he's definitely
connected. I think he did
it. The other location he lived was San Francisco.
Really?
Where Nancy Pelosi's from.
No kidding. Well, so that was that we talked earlier, and you had mentioned a video of this dude, Brian Thompson, talking about Nancy Pelosi and a guy from the energy department. Is that right?
Correct.
So now, do we have that video? Can we get that? Or
yes, sir.
just so that way we can kind of see what's going on. Also, later in the episode, we'll get to a video that allegedly shows the new CEO of UnitedHealthcare basically saying that we're going to keep business running as per usual. We don't care that homeboy got shot out, and this is what it is.
Let's see. Okay, let's get that Brian Thompson.
Yeah. So this is a video that took place. Do you know when it happened? When he said this?
This was this year at another conference. Here we
Make sure you guys leave us a comment. Get in here. Let's make it happen. We need your guys' ideas. What are your guys' thoughts? Think this dude was set up?
Let's crack this case.
Where are you guys from? Leave a comment.
There we go.
So this is him here, Brian Thompson.
Pilot customer.
Can we get a Zoom?
There was actually a lot of money coming from the government at this point. So you have ARA, which had somewhere around $25 billion that was earmarked for clean tech projects at the time. This is an insane amount of money from a startup perspective. If you can even just get 1/10 of 1/10 of 1/10, you're in great shape. And we had terrific connections. So we've had people like Nancy Pelosi, TJ Gloff, their former deputy secretary of the DOE, working for us in terms of figuring out how to get a grant. We put together a very sophisticated, at least for a startup of our size, grant application drawn up with them to go and be our first.
There he is.
All right. So essentially he's saying, is it over or is it still going?
That's it. That was it. It's about
Okay,
40 seconds.
So essentially what this dude is saying is that Nancy Pelosi and these other big wigs were helping them get contracts.
Yeah, a grant for some type of healthcare program. He said we have Nancy Pelosi working for us. And you know what I mean? He didn't say like helping us or assisting or working for us.
It sounds like it's worded correctly, like she's working for us. Otherwise, you'd be like, yeah, you're helping us out. She helps us get them through or whatever. But what's intriguing about this also is that with this dude now being caught with a manifesto, the weapon, they said other items that were consistent with what they were looking for. It's, I guess some of the statements that were being released at this point were that he had somebody that he cared about that may have gotten dorked on some insurance. I think that's what was some of the
a grandfather, possibly, but he also had a spinal fusion himself. They're saying that was on one of his social media sites. His major pictures. He did have back surgery, so I don't know if they messed up his back too. But he was anti-capitalist too, and you know he was not happy with the way shit works in our society too. Seems like that's what the trails he was leaving. Like, yo, a lot of bullshit going on, and it's not right. So,
well, one of the quotes that they had let out from his alleged manifesto was that he apologized for like strife and trauma, and I'm assuming that has to do with this dude's kids or whatever, you know, or family. But he said it had to be done, you know, and I think as brazen and as, you know, cold-blooded as it was, is this the statement that wakes up these CEOs and says, hey, look, man, you're killing people and turning a profit? So, and like we were just talking about before the podcast is that, you know, people have gone to this dude's LinkedIn profile and have found out that he worked or volunteered for Alorian Health Systems, healthcare systems, and essentially what they were it was founded by his grandfather Nick Mangione, I believe it is, and I believe his cousin is the current vice president of it. So they specialized in they highly rated nursing homes, and that's what they did, so it's kind of like a family operated nursing home facility. And UnitedHealthcare has been buying up all of, you might be able to get it, Irv, but they've been buying up all the family owned end of life services care, essentially trying to monopolize on the end of life care. So think about it like that. An insurance company they're going to insure all of these people. It's the best money you can make. They're going to die soon. They all still have much. Yeah, it's the illest racket, bro. You literally are making so much money on the people that are in these nursing homes. Their insurance is paying for it, and it's cycling right back to UnitedHealthcare. Okay, well, now they die, we still get paid. But it's also kind of weird that this guy was also super deep into Ted Kaczynski's The Unabomber's Manifesto as well, who also had an anti-tech, I don't want to say capitalist, but he was definitely, which we can pull up a summary of Ted Kaczynski's manifesto, but this dude left a review on it. It's not like he really covered up any tracks here. He was pretty open about what he was going to do.
Yeah, he wanted to. If it's him, allegedly. I mean, he hasn't been charged yet. I think
he's only been charged with weapons, right?
Yeah, he's got to be sent back to New York to face a judge there. But it is interesting that we know more about him in a week, today, than we do about Cooks, the first assassin of Trump. Yeah. Why do we know so much about this guy? This guy killed the CEO. So the guy who tried to assassinate a former president, and they're just pouring out information on this. So it's strange.
It is. It's definitely strange, but it is indicative of okay, well, this is a huge, I guess this dude was a phenomenon on himself, So I guess a lot of people identified him as more of a Robin Hood type-esque character. Thomas Crooks, to me, again, was the FBI, or I don't want to suggest it was the Democratic Party, but at the same time, someone was in touch with this guy at the FBI, and they knew to clean him up. They cleaned that shit up. As soon as he was shot dead on that roof, they professionally scrubbed his place. There's been no press conference from the Secret Service. The House Oversight Committee got into the acting director's ass about it. And but it is interesting, man, because again, here we are. We have so many photos. They got photos of this dude walking by cars, in the cab, at the hostel. I'm convinced if homeboy didn't try to flirt with the lady at the hostel and take his mask down, homie might be all right now. But
yeah, that's why it's let's see what the hell they talk about on this, because it's we got a lot of information
quick.
Really soon,
quick
on this one.
And homie's already talking about he didn't have the money.
Nah, he said it was planted on him.
So now, why do you think they would do that, though? Why do you think they would plant the money on him? What is? I'm just trying to like think through it myself as well. And if you guys have an idea, make sure you guys drop a comment. Why would, if they got this guy dead to rights, they got the gun, they got the silencer, they got everything else consistent with it. The ID is a big deal because he used, I guess that's luck of the draw, bro. You had 4 separate fake IDs and you grabbed the one that you used at the hostel. You know, I don't know. I feel like
so he said that he said the 8,000 in cash on him was planted. So they planted it to make it seem like he was trying to evade authorities. And then the other thing, they said he had a backpack that stops cellular service from going out. If your phone's in it, he said it was just a waterproof bag. So he said both of those were planted.
So wait, so the book bag knocked out cellular service?
Yes, that's what they're saying, the type of bag he had. So they're not, so basically you put it in, it's a Faraday bag. But they said he had his phone in there so it wouldn't ping cell phones.
Oh, okay. So it's blocking the transmission of his phone.
Transmission to the towers.
I'm following now. And I mean, look, this dude, if this guy really carried it out, he was a super smart cat. You know, I don't think him being this smart, he knew what time it was. He knew there was a very reasonable chance that he could get killed in the act of it. He could get caught. He's going to prison, you know. Whether a jury convicts him or not, that's to be determined, you know. But to me, it's odd because again, why start planting shit on him if you got him? Is it just to make authorities look better now that they're, you know, they kind of got this smut on their face because homie got away for 5 days and it happened? And what do you think?
I think that it's suspicious as hell, but we all know that shit does get planted on people quite a bit. So it's not beyond the stretch of, you know, out of the realms of what's possible.
No, but think about it like this. So Altoona PD picks him up, or whoever picks him up. That means somebody's got to get to those police officers and get to whoever got him, right? And then be like, yo, that evidence sheet, we're going to write it up, you know? And that shit happens. The FBI shows up, says, yo, look, the homie got caught. Oh, wait, we just pulled $8,000 in foreign cash out of his asshole.
Yo, he's there.
So it is intriguing.
He's definitely a case, man. They got him apprehended here. Let's see what
they got his face showing or what?
Yeah, they just brought him in. Let's see.
I don't know, man.
He's a young dude.
He's super young. Well, if they did plant money on him,
he's back in New York now.
If they did plant money on him, bro, you're not going to see those guys. They're going to be the guys that are like, yo, give us the fucking police report, and we're going to write it up.
I don't know. The foreign bills are kind of strange. Like, where are you going? $2,000? That's not. Where's that going to get you in another country?
Yeah, for real. And then you got to get there, and you got to get on a plane, or you got to get to Mexico. Homie was in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Can you pull up, Irv, just like a map of Pennsylvania where Altoona is? real fast because it doesn't seem to me like he was trying to go somewhere. Like he didn't flee to LaGuardia or JFK or he went like Altoona, bro. And I'm sure it was just a stop on the, listen, God damn it, if he didn't have to stop for that McDouble and those chicken nuggies, bro.
Which is another thing because it's not healthy food. You know what I mean? It's not a healthy choice.
Well, yeah, but again, it just doesn't seem to me like he really cared that much. Like, there's a national manhunt, bro, and you stop for a McDouble. It just, I don't know. It's odd to me. And then and then these people, let's see what we got here. So can we zoom out of that? Yeah, there we go. Let's see where it is overall in Pennsylvania. Let's see it. Zoom out on that thing. See what we got. So Altoona. Yeah, bro, look at that.
That's deep.
That's deep, man. And to me, it doesn't seem like you'd be going like if I were on the run for something like this, national manhunt, I guess I don't really know what exactly I would do in that situation, but I don't think I'm going towards. Maybe he was headed towards Pittsburgh, or maybe like up there,
right
like
outside
Syria.
Pittsburgh. He's right outside Pittsburgh.
Maybe the only thing I could think of, is Canada right up there? Canada's like right up past Lake Erie and shit, right? Or no?
He can hit Canada. Yeah.
So I mean, it's not impossible to think that homie was going that way.
What did he
But
take?
I would
did he take the bus?
He got off a bus. So that's what's interesting too. Is like he stayed on a Greyhound. It doesn't seem like the best form of transportation. Where was he living at the time? Was he was from Maryland, right?
Maryland, San Francisco, Hawaii simultaneously.
So think about it like this, man. This dude had to be so dedicated in this mission that he somehow had the information, and we can go on like the conference. Let's just say for hypothetical purposes, the conference is what drew him to know where the dude was. This takes a lot of execution, man. You got to print the gun. Where'd you get the gun? Where'd you get the burner? You know what I mean? Obviously, it's a 3D printed gun, but somebody has to upload that file and make that thing.
I cannot find the conference that this dude was talking at neither.
No way, really?
It says he was talking to a group of investors, but it doesn't say, like, you know how usually they'll post something or say like, okay, this is what he was going to be speaking about, or
well, that was the initial report that he was staying across the street from the Hilton, and he had a conference in the area, and that's but again, just thinking about that is like, all right, even if the conference didn't happen, how did this dude track down his CEO? Is there like flight records? Is there, announcements on their website? Like to track down that CEO and actually be in the right place, right time, perfect execution, beats feet. He's out of here. He makes it all the way to Altoona. And again, to me, I'm thinking I'm staying in like a metropolitan area. Pittsburgh would suit that, but not Altoona, bro. I'm not jumping off. I'm not getting off of anywhere until I'm like done. Till we're stopped. Shout out to 174 people on X. 2 people on YouTube and Facebook, 3 people. Shout out to you guys. Make sure you leave us a comment. We appreciate you guys for tapping in, trying to figure this out with us. Do you think this could be like a Manchurian candidate situation? Like, yo, this guy sold off the stocks, because he did do some weird shit before this all happened as well. So was this Lorien Healthcare Services involved in any of this shit? Say his grandfather needed health insurance, bro, and he didn't get it.
So there's he dropped a cryptic message while he was getting arrested.
Who did?
Luigi. Check this out. So
That's
remember,
it.
he's got a master's in computer science.
Yeah, so he knows it.
He knows what he's doing. So he dropped this while in cuffs. This hit a YouTube page associated with him.
Stop it. This guy created a video. If you see this, I am already under arrest.
So they had that one countdown. But
let it play. This is kind of crazy because if this dude created it, stop it.
Unless as they're rolling up on him, he's like,
no, he had to have it might have been like one of those triggers, bro, that the bombers put on shit. It's like that. What is it called? The suicide switch.
Yeah.
He knew what time it was. He knew he had to hit the switch.
But does he have more information? Does he have more shit that he programmed already to come out?
I mean, he's got the fucking education for it, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Do I believe that absolutely nobody knew about this or knew he had some sort of intention? You know what kind of secret that is to keep? Like, we're not.
His friends are like, he's not like that. He's not a violent dude.
Which is, let's see what we got. He didn't just give us a virus, did he? gave us a virus. Fuck.
You see that?
So what's twitching in there?
I don't know. Soon.
You see it, right? Oh, it's okay. Soon. What do we got here? Come on, Luigi. All is scheduled. Be
December
patient.
11th. Flashed up there real quick. On the right side. Let's see that again.
So cryptic, man. You know what? With these assassins, bro, just come out and say it. If I'm gonna do it, like,
see that soon. December 11th.
This looks like the feds made it.
Yo, that's crazy.
So all is scheduled. Be patient. Bye for now. Anybody watching, make sure you guys leave us a comment with your thoughts.
He's not.
I feel like this could be it, though. He's got the switch. He has the switch. Like, this is, I feel like it's annoying that we have to be so cryptic and conspiratorial. Like, all right, dude, we get it.
Bye for now. December 11th, though.
So what's today?
Today's the 9th.
December 11th.
So Wednesday.
Shit.
Clock counting down.
So now we got to be careful of all the fake shit, that might possibly come out here. But at the same time, this guy, if this dude did it, he had a reasonable education, and we can believe that he's doing the kill switch, man. Like, he knew what time it was.
Either that, bro, or he just wants to be fucking famous. Just want to be one of these fame chasers and go down in history. Because dude could have went and made a couple $100,000 a year anywhere he wanted to go. Smart as fuck. Penn graduate, master's degree in computer science. Like, do whatever he wants. And he's young.
Yeah. Head of this, like, the fraternity, all that shit.
Yeah.
And so it's not like, and he was like, they just, like, I know Penn University scrubbed their websites because homie had contributed to a ton of shit on their websites. And it doesn't, this is why it's confusing to me, though, is that a dude with this guy, and I get it. Sometimes there are them dudes that just like, yo, this is my mission. I got to make it happen. But I feel like a healthcare CEO, I get it. It's just it'll go down in history, but I don't know. It's not necessarily like you're whacking out Nancy Pelosi or someone that might be a government official or I don't know. They just fill this slot. They're the next dude steps up and they're gonna do the same shit, you know. And you fade into obscurity in some supermax prison, you know. But what is interesting is like that's, I guess, with a lot of these guys, when you see them starting to look at these manifestos, and it's cool to read the manifestos, they're available for everyone. But when you start to idolize them and say, you know what? Oh, wait, you know what? This dude's right, you know, or whatever. And some of the ideas, sure, challenge certain thoughts, but like that dude, they kill people, man. You know, fortunately, this dude had one guy in mind. But they saying there's names on lists where, you know, there might have been possibly other targets as well.
Oh, like that he wanted to kill?
So I guess the authorities, if I'm being honest, I guess the authorities, the way I read it, said there was like no suspicion that he was going to target them. But at the same time, like, look, they already got him. So what else would they say? You know? No, everybody's safe. Everybody's safe. You know? So, but I do feel like it's tough, man. Because if like one of our guys just like ended up doing some wild, crazy shit like this, I guess I would never expect it either. But I don't know, man. It almost feels like, especially with the delay, deny, defend shit, and then the Rutgers law professor's book, it's like, I don't know, man. It's just wild. It's deep. What do you think he releases? What do you think he's got?
Something related to that CEO, some corruption. I mean, even some Nancy Pelosi shit, or fucking a nothing burger.
Right.
Fucking nothing.
Conspiracy.
He's smart. He's smart though. He's got something up his shit. Mark Rosario was one of his fake IDs.
What was it?
His name was Mark Rosario.
Mark Rosario?
Yeah, 128 Sherman Place, Maplewood, New Jersey.
That'd have been crazy. You said New York.
6/18. Date of birth 7/21/98. Yeah, New Jersey driver's license.
No way. So, but this guy, I guess, obviously could make them himself, right? It's not really like this dude would be subbing these things out on the black market. Like, if you have all these technological degrees and shit like that, you're a computer scientist. Like, it doesn't strike me as you wouldn't be able to make your own fake IDs. So he makes the gun, he makes the silencer, he makes the fake IDs, and he goes out on a mission. I wish they would release his manifesto already.
They won't.
Oh man, what happened to RX? RX like went from like 170 to 0. Y'all just quit? No. Yeah, it's an interesting situation because it keeps striking me as like maybe this kid was that you got that word and it turns into okay, go get him. You know,
Go get him.
like some real brainwashing shit. I just don't know why you risk all of that.
Yeah, a young cat like that just to come out. I mean, definitely throw his shit away, but you know what I mean. People feel like they got to do something. People are at the breaking point all over the place. But to unite it, there's a lot of people you could do that to. You caught the CEO.
Well, this is so again, this dude turns into this Robin Hood type figure, right? Now we have society like it's like one of the strangest things I've ever seen, right? Because this dude gets shot dead in the street. And we talked about this last episode. Most people wouldn't want one of those P3DOs getting shot in the street, but you're like everybody's rallying around this dude that committed this cold-blooded murder, you know. And I get it in terms of coverages not being what's one life to a million that were lost to no insurance, whatever, blah 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 blah. But the way they're going after like the McDonald's employee, like they're like this person's got to actually probably get some real protection now because because they did what they thought was right in the sense, you know what I mean? This is a civilian. This is somebody that's like, wait, that dude just murdered somebody, you know? So I think it's interesting how the internet has been handling this situation. It's been wild, man. You're starting to see that tribal nature of human beings.
Tribal people are this shit's wild, man. They're trying to say like Elon has his kid because he's afraid and shit. I'm like, Elon's got mad security, bro.
A ton of security.
Like
he doesn't like.
They're saying like, oh, he's got his kid with him because he's afraid. I'm like, you know, you people don't stop.
Yeah. Well, but again, people need to we've talked about this on other episodes, but people need to thrive on like the negativity of it. It's like now that his kid is his human shield, you know, like that's kind of the lower vibratory shit that people get into with this. And it festers on the internet like crazy because these people just have this sounding board and it doesn't matter. There's some grimy people out there.
Sick tickets out there.
For real. So what do you think made this dude break, bro? There's got to be a breaking point. Something, obviously it's all speculation, but there has to be something that this dude said, you know what? Nope, this has to happen. There's no offense. This is a crazy decision to make.
It's hard to read, man. He's so young. He's bright. He's got the future going. All his friends said he would never talked about guns, never talked about violence. Was a cool cat, like kind, like everything. Like no indication of this shit. But the multiple addresses, like living in 3 different places with no job. It's similar to the second assassination attempt on Trump. That guy lived in Hawaii, was out in Ukraine, also lived in Maryland. Like that shit's sketchy to me. It's like, you live in Hawaii, bro, with who?
It's kind of 3 separate lives. That's what it sounds like to me, is you almost have like 3 separate lives that you're living. And let's be real, just out of the sake of being fair, homie was a tech guy. Going to those places wasn't necessarily off the table. But I think you have to have establishments in those areas, right? Like if you have a house in, what'd you say, in Honolulu or Hawaii?
Yeah, he was in Honolulu.
And then San Francisco and Maryland. So family's probably in Maryland, homie jammed out. But what's happening here? What's happening in these places, man? What if the CIA gets them? Right? CIA gets them. They drug them. They say, yo, this is the trigger word. This is your target. Because I'm assuming that's how it would go. You wouldn't just these guys just wouldn't go off random. So it'd be like, no, this is your target. This is who you got to go get. And we're gonna pack you a lunch. We're gonna pack you a bag. You're gonna have some fake money in there. You're gonna have a manifesto. You're gonna have a 3D printed gun. And it serves all of these narratives too, because now look at like the crackdown on guns that are gonna come. You know,
guns in particular.
New York City, bro. Guess what? They're gonna make having a 3D printer illegal. You know, I'm not sure.
That's the chatter online already. What? People could print guns on a 3D printer? That's absurd.
Listen, bro.
That shouldn't be.
I was born at night, but it wasn't fucking last night. You know, but again, yeah, this is again the intent to rile up that fear about the ghost guns, because now it makes sense why he had to cock it all those times, because the motherfucker was jamming. But when you look at it, bro, it's still just such a wild thing. You know what I mean?
It really is. Let me pull up his shit real quick.
What got here?
So that's what he had as his header on his social media.
Oh, as his header, like on what? Yeah, on like Twitter?
His banner up top.
This is X.
Yeah, I believe it was Instagram. This one, he had that up top, and then people said he complained of back pain and shit.
Oh, that looks crazy.
You see those pins? So maybe they fucked up his back. Maybe he tried to go back, and they're like, "Nah, we won't approve this shit." I mean, just a theory, not something that's
It's something that it's something that could have been a piece of it, you know.
Or you put that shit in my back, and my shit hurts, and I'm never the same again, and I'm 24. Like, all right.
Yeah, and you're at that age, man. I almost feel like you're like a lot more resentful because you haven't grown out of it yet. So if this dude was hurt and they were like, no, we're not paying for any more surgeries, we're not paying for any more meds. Imagine the pain that probably came with that thing. What's wild too, though, is how that McKinsey scandal comes in as well. Because did he get hooked on opiates? Did they turbocharge the opiates? You know, so maybe they fucked his back up. He gets hurt. He gets addicted. You know what I mean? And he knows the end of the line is near. So you know what? I'm tired of these CEOs. I'm tired of this shit. Something's got to change. But it's intriguing because, again, why would you write those words, delay, deny, depose, as opposed to delay, deny, defend? That book specifically mentions the McKinsey scandal where they were turbocharging that and then also making it harder for people to actually get coverage. It's a scam, bro. It's the illest scam ever. Imagine that. What could don't other countries have free healthcare?
Yeah.
Oh, is it Canada? Does Canada got free healthcare?
Canada. Most of the rest of the world pretty much does. Europe.
So really, again, here we are in corporate America, and we got to make a nickel on everything. Dime bag sold in the park, I want it. Yeah, that's incredible too. And again, look at all these cancer patients. Look at all these people with real ailments, and you can't even get coverage, man. You can't. Your copay is insane. I don't know.
It's I mean, like, ideally, it'd be dope if, out of this, our health industry does change. Most likely it's not, but everybody's focused on it now, and it's bad. It's a really bad health system. It's not even, shouldn't even call it a health system.
Well, no, man, when you're waiting 8 hours in an emergency room, yeah, like, it's not a healthcare system. Again, these hospitals are all for profit, and we get the doctors got to make money. You have overhead. We know all this shit, but what's the insurance for if I'm going to pay? Like, the hospital's going to charge too much. I can't pay that amount. I'm supposed to be able to pay my insurance, pay the copay, and I get insured. It's covered. Bro, there's places, what was it? Blue Cross, Blue Shield walked back their statements, I believe it was, after the dude's murder.
Statements on what?
So look up Blue Cross Blue Shield anesthesia coverage, because it could have been the same day, man, but coincidentally, I think they dropped it the same day homeboy got shot, or maybe it was the day before, but they essentially said that they weren't going to be covering certain amount of time periods, or like, say you had to be under anesthesia for an hour. They would only cover 25 minutes. But I know it was just recent that they had, I think it was Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield. But I know that they definitely had it up. Because I know after homie got shot, they
okay, I got it.
That's how you found it?
Yeah.
Nice.
I also found out that his family owns 2 resorts in Maryland: Turf Valley Resort in Howard County and Hayesfield Country Club in Baltimore.
So this kid came from money.
Straight bread.
They had the insurance company.
Mangione. And this is some shit where a CEO would hang out at. This kid would rub elbows with those types of people.
You're right. You're right. And man, so he really got to see like how these people really act in real life, and if these guys are on that billionaire fucking country club attitude shit, he might have took that personal. Maybe there's a connection there though. Maybe there's a connection with that CEO in particular.
I'm seeing that because it's right outside of DC. If you're down there for whatever, I'm sure they have meetings and shit outside of DC. Country Club Golf Course. This place is pretty nice too. There's two of them. Let me pull that info up.
Mazzy's Garden. Shout out Mazzy's Garden. What up?
What's up?
We also believe he is a plant. We don't know if he's a plant, but we know there's some shit planted on him. Feels too staged. We agree. Shout out. Thanks for tapping in.
Trying to get there.
So yeah, Health Insurer Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield says it is no longer planning a policy change that would place time limits on coverage for anesthesia services in Connecticut, New York, and Missouri. A reversal after the move drew widespread outrage this week. So this isn't just UnitedHealthcare. All right, what do we got here? So Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield announced in November it would begin changing how it processes anesthesia claims in the 3 states. Where is it here? What did I miss? Oh, announced in November we process anesthesia claims in the 3 states on February 2025 by limiting the amount of time it covers anesthesia for surgeries and procedures in which it's needed. So again, man, this is another instance of just maxing out profits and really just hurting people. Like, you got all of this money. All this money, you just got to keep moving on, you know. It's disgusting. And when you really look at it, I guess if that dude really had his back blown out, he's probably feeling super resentful. Smart dude, probably got a super dope career ahead of him. Back's fucked up. Which one? Kayla, which statement are you talking about? Thanks for leaving the comment. And we'll get you on ASAP for sure. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I feel like if I still want to know how he knew he was going to be there. They did. Oh yeah, we just spoke about that, Kayla. They did retract the statement. Coincidentally, either the day of or the day after the UnitedHealthcare CEO was shot dead in New York City, they retracted that statement because, again, now I got to imagine these CEOs feel like there's a target on their back and people are radical and now they know that they'll do it. So, and when you have loved ones and when you have people that you care about that can't get coverage or you can't get coverage yourself because this giant corporation just wants to beat you down, you know, it hurts. It hurts. You know, I don't know, man. I can't wait for his manifesto to come out, as sick as that sounds. But I feel like this dude was a real kind of I feel like he was Robin Hood in his own mind. You know, I'm no psychologist, but if it were me, I would say, all right, look, man, someone's got to take one for the team. Let's go make it happen. But I don't know. I don't know what it changes other than he fades into obscurity again, prison, and what happens? The UnitedHealthcare continues to be the conglomerate that it'll always be.
Number 8, wealthiest corporation in the entire world.
Right, and like last episode, who are the top shareholders, Irv?
BlackRock and Vanguard.
See if you can put that up on the screen just for everybody to see the BlackRock. And this is what's oddly convenient too, is it's like this dude sold off a bunch of stocks and fucked a bunch of people on money, and next thing you know, there you go. Well, it just seems like the perfect storm to me, in a sense, you know, like this dude was the biggest piece of shit, and this dude wanted to be Robin Hood, and they're in the same place, same time. Wild though. How do you, Kayla? How do you think they found him, or not found him? How do you think the shooter found the UnitedHealthcare CEO? Do you think he knew about the conference, or do you think he stalked them? Shout out to the 188 people on X right now, 4 on YouTube and 1 on Facebook. We appreciate you guys. All right, so let's see what we got here. JP Morgan's on there.
They are on there.
So Vanguard Group Inc. and they have a 9 point. Oh
man.
Sell it all.
49 billion.
Jesus. So it's a 9.23% stake. So Vanguard has the highest. BlackRock has the next highest.
State Street. That's the top 3 in the world.
I wonder who State Street is. We'll have to get into them another time. But
they're like brother, sister, brother. Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street. Those three companies are going to own 50% of the single family houses in the United States by 2030.
Let me see here. Yup. Well, that's they're buying up everything, you know, and it's, you know, and it's interesting too, because like they're supposed to be asset management firms. So it seems like now I'm curious, and let me know if you know this or not, but now because they're an asset financial services, like, so they try to manage people's money and make more money from them. Would that be included in their stature, like on this list? Like, so like all of these companies that are using BlackRock or using Van Group, are they included in these shareholders, or is this just Vanguard?
Oh, like so yeah, so they manage money for people. You know what I mean? So, you know, teachers union or whatever union, or nurses or whatever, they invest for people. They control assets. A shit ton of them.
And a lot of them, man. And that's what's let me see here. We got Kayla with another comment. Let's see what we got. I think this was orchestrated. There's a lot going on behind the scenes with everyone stepping down or dying in weird circumstances. I think this is tied to the New World Order in a major way. Who doesn't comply dies.
Ooh.
Well, we do feel like it's headed in that sort of direction. We brought it up a long time ago. Now it's drawing a blank. What was it? The UN Path for the Future. I believe, I could be butchering that, but we did an episode on it, and everything seems to be moving that way. And on the last episode, when we kind of talked about the UFO invasion, we almost feel like it's me personally. This, I'm not speaking for Irv, but me personally, I almost feel like it's a staged invasion to push us towards that new world order. And guess what? Everybody has to comply or they die. You know?
Nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
We're not complying.
No.
Nope. Truth and goodness is gonna prevail for sure. We're not letting these evil fucks win.
No, this is what we do, man. This is why we have to be out here. Shout out to the 201 people that are with us tonight. I hope you guys are kicking it and having a good night. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get an uptick in content out here, and there's just been so much going on. We appreciate you guys tapping in and helping us figure it out. It's a lot of fun. So Kayla said, who was the other big banker that died with his son on a yacht? So I believe that was the one off of Spain, right?
Spain, yeah, that was Europe.
So, and he was another one. We did an episode where we talked about how they were cordoning off the area because they were trying to get the classified documents out of a safe off that boat. Remember that shit? I believe he was under investigation too. What was his name?
Corella Weinberg.
Is that the dude? Yeah.
Found dead. Yeah, found dead. All right, whatever.
Who's this? That's the guy on the yacht?
Yeah, dude on the yacht. Just making sure.
Yeah, because we think a lot of these people, man, is they either run them out or they kill them, and we what we're seeing right now happen kind of across the board is the stars are falling. The age of information is here. Us just doing this, tapping in with 209 people, we're bringing like-minded individuals together and spreading the gospel of getting this information out. And it helps. It helps. We got to push back.
Got to push back. For sure. Okay.
So, yeah. So, but I hope everybody's paying attention out there. Shit's moving so quickly. The shit with Jay-Z, the shit with the rap industry, entertainment industry as a whole. All of this information, Irv, and we still don't know who's on Epstein's client list. How fucking wild is that? What do you think they're doing to us, man? What do you think they're distracting us from?
I don't know, man. Really don't. Well, Syria's a shit show. Assad
ran out.
Fell. Al Qaeda is now in control of Syria, and the U.S. is now cool with them. Israel just bombed the shit out of them.
Let's get into this, right?
We bombed the shit out of them.
Yeah, let's get into this shit because these guys were Al Qaeda, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then allegedly came out and said, no, we're not anymore. We're not Al Qaeda anymore. We're this weirdo group, hybrid group that now are wearing trousers and sweaters and got their hair slicked back, and they're like almost embracing Western culture in a sense. Did you see that shit? I have to look.
Yeah. ISIS too.
Now they're changing up their stories and shit. It's wild, bro. But yeah, it's the world's on fire, man. We're still got Israel bombing the shit out of everybody. We got a ceasefire in Lebanon, right? I believe.
Not no more. So there's this whole plan of that's all.
All right, so U.S. bombs over 75 targets in Syria after Assad falls. The Western press are waxing lyrical about the new Syria being born, but not a word on the U.S. and Israeli bombs falling from the sky, said Giannis. I'm not even going to attempt that. U.S. military forces launched dozens of airstrikes on more than 75 Islamic State targets in Syria on Sunday after the fall of longtime Syrian President Bashar al-Assad and amid ongoing Israeli and Turkish attacks on the war-torn Middle Eastern country or nation. According to U.S. Central Command, warplanes including B-52 bombers, F-15 fighters, and A-10 ground attack aircraft conducted dozens of precision strikes targeting known ISIS camps and operatives in central Syria. So really, do you think these guys so the rebels, like the U.S. is always going back and forth with Assad, right? So, and he's always been kind of a dude that rocks with Putin. So obviously Russia, I think, gave him asylum, right?
Yeah, it gave him billions. But his plane disappeared. The one that they thought he was on disappeared off a radar last night.
Wait, Assad's did?
Yeah.
No shit.
And then Israeli Defense Force tweeted a plane at the same exact time. And they did the same thing when the Iranian president, they put up a plane, a helicopter, when his helicopter went down, like at the exact same time.
Wow.
So they asked Biden about it, and Biden's like, we don't know where he is. I'm waiting to hear. Meanwhile, they're launching this shit.
Well, they already ran him out, so I don't understand why they would have to kill him at this point. Like Russia, like allegedly granted him asylum, so the rebel regime is in place, bro. They took that country over in like 3 days. I'm paraphrasing, but they took that country over quick.
Well, they had help. They had our help. I mean, it started with Obama. Obama armed the rebels, which were ISIS at the time, to fight against them. And then now, this is, years later, and now the rebels take over. They were our friends. We gave them weapons, and then they take over, and then we bomb the shit out of them.
Yeah,
it's so wild.
It's incredible what we do. But I know it's been a while since we talked about it, but there was like a plan the U.S. had in place, and I'll have to get more information on it, and we can talk about it in another episode. But where there was like 5 nations that we had to get by a certain time, right? It was like Syria, Iran. What were they? They were huge ones. They're the big, like they're almost like the Axis powers.
Every single one that we basically fell.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild, man. And when we do this shit, look, now there's B-52 bombers over there. Now there's F-16 fighter planes. Like we're at war, bro. We're at war right now.
Straight at war.
Oh, this is the guy, right?
Yeah, General Wesley Clark.
Yeah, run that.
Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the joint staff who had used to work for me. And one of the generals called me in. He said, "Sir, you got to come in. You got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, No. He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we've got a good military and we can take down governments." So I came back to see him a few weeks later. And by that time, we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense office today. And he said, this is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran.
So go through the countries again.
Well, starting with Iraq, then Syria and Lebanon, then Libya, then Somalia and Sudan, and then back to Iran.
And Iran is the only one left.
Is the only one left, bro. How insane is that?
It is, man. We should do an episode on that for sure.
We have to. Like, there's just so many of these things that, like, there was the subversion one, you know, but it goes to show that these plans are planned out 25, 30 years, 50 years in advance. Like, yo, by 2030, we got to be here. By 2025 or, 2045, Syria's got to be down, and it just did. Not only that, but they also hit Putin with that. Because now you got a U.S. friendly government in there. Think about it like this, dude. The Taliban was at like a G20 summit or some shit, an energy summit. So it's like the world is wonky right now. Let's see if I can find that.
Fucking alternate. Yeah, I remember. Was it a UN meeting?
It was. I think it was an energy summit. Taliban.
No damn energy.
Yeah, and it's wild because remember when I was growing up, let me see here, aims to create attend energy hub, but let's see here, attend energy conference. At least when I was growing up, bro, it was like all of these like terror organizations. Yep. Here. So this was November 10th. Let me see if I can share it real fast. Present. Share that motherfucking screen. Share. All right. So this was from November 10th. And so now essentially for anybody that doesn't know, I'm sure a lot of you do, but the Taliban is now trying to be recognized as a legitimate government entity now, I believe. So, and this is already passed, but this was from November 10th. Oh, wait, hold on a second. All right. So the Taliban will attend a UN climate conference for the first time since their takeover of Afghanistan in 2001. The country's National Environment Agency said Sunday. The conference, known as COP29, begins Monday in Azerbaijan and is one of the most important multilateral talks to include the Taliban, who do not have official recognition as the legitimate rulers of Afghanistan. So they hold Afghanistan, but allegedly under, I guess, not official pretenses, But it's just weird to me. It's weird. It's like, oh, we're cool with what? We're cool with Al Qaeda? They blew up the towers. It's like, what the fuck?
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand it, man. But this is the posturing all over the globe, and I think the U.S. in particular just likes to stoke the fires, like the proxy wars here and there. Hey, stir up the rebels over in, oh, wait, the Middle East is on fire. Let's stoke the rebels over in Syria and give them some weapons. This is a perfect time to overthrow Assad. So it's incredible. Again, shout out to the 218 people on X. You guys have been crushing it lately. Everybody, 2 people on YouTube, 1 person on Facebook. Again, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We just wanted to tap in tonight and really touch on a few things. And as information evolves, we'll obviously be back, but we hope you guys have an excellent night, and we'll wrap this one up.
Peace out. Thanks for your support.
We definitely appreciate it for sure. Peace.